First of all, we're going to go with the beat writer special, where you look up the quotes from the game before and you say, okay, what are some angles that might be at play here based on some of the post-game press conferences? And one of those, Jaylen Brown said he needs to be more aggressive at the end of the game. He says, hey, maybe I need to, ask for the ball a little bit more, because he is one of their superstars. And, at the end of the game, we talked about this. You need a closer in basketball. I know a lot of people think it's Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown is just as pivotal to the Celtics' success, I think, is Jason Tatum. So his points prop tonight, 23.5. He scored exactly 23 last game. I will say that's overtime, but still somebody who maybe has a more aggressive approach in this game, probably Jaylen Brown. And then also looking to Malcolm Brogdon, the reigning NBA Sixth Man of the Year, I think has been a point god, a point prop god in this postseason. I think he's hit his points prop in every single game. It's 14.5 though. So this is slowly crept up, but still he has made his presence known in this series, a guy with remarkable touch and a good player coming off the bench. Any role you put him in, Malcolm Brogdon has been good. Is there anything you're actually playing in this series or in this game tonight, Jenks, or is it a stay away?
No, I'm not, but I love that Malcolm Brogdon prop. Absolutely. And I also think that when you look at the Celtics, there are myriad ways in which they can beat you, and Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench is one of the ways in which they can do that. In fact, if you look at bench points here, Chelsa, over the course of this series, the Celtics bench has outscored the Sixers bench 124-82. So I also think that as this series progresses, because the Celtics have more depth, they have more effective depth, then I think that the Sixers are going to wear out a little bit, and Brogdon is a very, very good play. So if I'm going to bet this game in any way, shape, or form, that is the way I would bet it.
The finals of the Westminster Dog Show. And Jenks, if my memory serves me correctly, you've covered this event before.
I sure
Haven't you?
I sure have. It is something. It was awesome. It's one of my favorite stories that I've ever done. And I was in the underbelly of Madison Square Garden. You can't imagine it. Like, you truly can't fathom the preparation that goes into getting these dogs ready. They're spoiled rotten, and underneath I remember trying chocolates, like dog chocolates, different types of chocolate that were made for dogs, but they were also able to be consumed by humans. There were T-shirts. I interviewed one owner who was holding her Yorkie, and this Yorkie had many curls, like little, you put, what is it, like curlers in your hair? This Yorkie had curlers in her hair so that when they released them, she would have these flowing locks. It was absolutely insane, because it's not like, oh, I'm going to wash my dog, I'm going to brush my dog, let me blow dry my dog. No. You are prepping these dogs for a competition, and they're beautiful, they are spoiled, and they are dead serious. The owners are dead serious about these dogs winning. I would love to go back and do it again. It was so much fun.
All right, so there is a story that I remember laughing hysterically at. Jenks, what am I thinking of? You made some off-color joke to one of the owners and it really pissed him off. Am I imagining this?
No, there was a dog. And so this is, if you want to do an entertaining story, I mean, it's nirvana. Like, how can you not? Dogs are hilarious anyway, right? Like, how can you not walk around and just have a good time with dogs and their owners? So there was a dog laying on the floor, on the concrete floor at the garden, just relaxing. And he had his eyes closed. And so I looked at my camera guy. I was like, turn on the camera real quick. And so he starts recording, and I said, tragedy here at Westminster, our first casualty. Not all the dogs make it. They just don't. They don't make it. It's a lot of stress for these dogs, and every now and then one of the dogs passes. So good luck to you, Spike. It was a good run, but you're not going to be competing this week. And obviously the dog was alive. You could see him breathing, but I glanced over at the owner, and you talk about daggers in the eyes. It was like, you're joking around that my dog is dead. I'm like, no, it's clearly the dog is alive. Clearly no dogs are dying at the Westminster Dog Show. But you know what? The owner did not find that funny at all.
I was shocked when I saw this headline. It said Julius Randle, and the quote was, maybe the Heat want it more, I'm sorry, but if you have to be motivated at this point in the season, and if another team wants it more than
Yeah.
you, that's a huge red flag. Like, you're only down, what, 3-1? Like, it's still within the realm of possibility. If you're not motivated now, when will you be motivated? So this has kind of been the knock on the Knicks, and also like Julius Randle over the past couple of years. And I don't know what the purpose of this quote was. I don't know if it was him trying to motivate his own team, but still, all of the things that the Knicks did well in the first round against the Cavs, which was tenacious defense, getting the rebounds, and going for all of the loose balls, and just really out-toughening their opponent. Everything they did in that series, the Heat are doing in this series. And we kind of joked around about Heat culture and how it was just Jimmy Butler going off. But we've seen it. We saw it last game where they actually pulled down the rebounds. They looked like the tougher team. So moving forward, this is not a Knicks team that I'm running to believe in. Right now, it looks like Garrett Cole is going to be the guy. But again, it's May. He's plus 275 right now, followed by Shohei Ohtani, 4-1, Shea McClanahan, 6-1, Luis Castillo, 12-1, and then an interesting one that we have here on our notes, Joe Ryan of the Minnesota Twins, 25-1, despite a 5-1 record and a 2.45 ERA. So, Jenks, I think this is also a very tough one to pick because, once again, it's May. But do you think Garrett Cole is the guy down the stretch?
He probably is, but I'll tell you something. If you look at, I don't know if I want it, plus 275, am I so lame for liking McClanahan at 6-1? Am I just going to pick all Rays players here? But ultimately, if you're talking about a guy who's playing on a much better team and there's better value, why not? I mean, the guy is 7-0 thus far. He's going to get a ton of run support because the Rays are the best hitting team in the league. I feel so chalky, even though these are not chalky plays, but I'm going with the team and the pitcher that is playing better than anyone in baseball and a pitcher that's 7-0 now. But I think McClanahan at 6-1 is someone I like.
I don't think it's super chalky if you're going with like the Rays because, you know, if it was the Yankees or the Astros that had this record, they would be like 2-1 right now. So like the Rays still don't get a ton of credit in the market. Shea McClanahan, I think the sabotage factor for him is that we saw this last year where he started off really hot out the gates and then he kind of lost some steam down the stretch. And also the Rays like to put an innings limit on some of their younger starters. But also the potential is there for McClanahan. He's a young guy that maybe we haven't seen the best of his stuff just yet. So I'm not going to talk you off of it.
Are the Warriors done?
No. Do I think they're going to win the series? No, but I don't think they're done. I think they win Game 5. Yeah. I think Game 6 is going to be an awesome game. I can't wait to bet the under in Game 6, guys. I'm just telling you right now. If that series goes 6, that'll be one of my biggest bets in the playoffs. You saw last night's game in kind of like a must-win spot for the Warriors. That game was 104-101, and the over-under was 228.5. We didn't even sniff the total. I think it's going to be similar in Game 6. It's going to be very defensive. The second half, the fourth quarter, is going to be extremely tight. But that's what I'm looking at, Jenks. To answer your question, though, I don't think the Warriors are done. I still like the Lakers to win the series. But, oh, guys, Game 6, that under, already thinking about it. Can't wait to bet it.